Ethereum's first ever death cross actually happened in November 2016. What followed was a 36% straight decline, with no bounces or relief rallies. But that marked the bottom before a 20,300% rally in the next year. Of course, one can argue that Ethereum was still in its early days, making it far more volatile. If we fast forward to the next death cross in April 2018, we see something completely different. Ethereum first rallied 120% before eventually turning around and collapsing by over 90% as Ethereum saw its first bear market. And the same thing happened at the beginning of the next bear market in January 2022. After the death cross, Ethereum saw a dead cat bounce of 47% before giving back all the gains and falling by 72%. So two different bear markets, but the same end result. In fact, even in September 2019, Ethereum's death cross played out in two stages. A 32% rally first, then a 45% crash that erased all the gains and more. So if we're following history, does this mean we're about to see another short-term rally before a major crash? Not necessarily. Because while these examples suggest a clear bearish pattern, Ethereum's death cross has not always led to disaster. One of those times was April 2020 during the pandemic flash crash. Instead of a short-lived rally, then a massive decline, Ethereum fell by just 5%, then launched into a 2,900% rally over the next 2 years. Anyone betting on Ethereum to go down back then lost a lot of money in doing so. Now you might be thinking that today is quite different to April 2020 because back then the government printed trillions of dollars to stimulate the economy after COVID. And that massive influx of liquidity is what caused risk-on assets like Ethereum to melt up. Well, that's true. But then there's the death cross from September 2023 that happened during this bull run. Following this signal, Ethereum entered a choppy consolidation period for almost 2 months. During this time, price did not fall more than 7%, quite similar to the limited drawdown after the signal in April of 2020. Eventually, selling pressure was completely absorbed, and then Ethereum rallied by 170% in just 150 days. And it's not just September 2023. We also saw this in August of 2024. Back then, Ethereum saw a sharp drop as the market was panicking over a potential recession. This caused the 50-day moving average to drop below the 200-day moving average. But instead of a sharp rally, then a crash, Ethereum stayed in a tight consolidation for 3 months and fell less than 15% from the signal. This consolidation then led to an 85% move up as recession fears cooled down. So we have a total of 7 death crosses that Ethereum has seen throughout its history,